English 319, which is Fundamentals of Grant Writing. And this is designed to be a service learning course. I've never taught it online, so this will be a really good experience. And it's designed to be, I guess, 2 sections offered in 1 semester. So it's going to be 8 weeks, an 8-week session. And in the past, when I've taught it in face-to-face, and what I will be doing with this online version is pairing the students with local nonprofit organizations in Evansville. So when I first started teaching this class in person, Ann Statham had connected me with a listserv of nonprofits in the tri-state southwestern region, and I got in touch with, sent out a message to that list, and then the interested nonprofits that wanted to have some grant writing assistance got back in touch with me. And we had so many the first year I had to do a lottery to see who we would work with. So I don't have my list ready for this class. Will be spring of 2016. So I don't know yet which nonprofits we'll be working with, but once I do find that out, then the students are going to be able to choose who they want to work with. They have to do some research on the nonprofits as part of one of their assignments, and then we'll choose who they want to work with. And so everything builds off of that partnership as far as the course content and the assignments and all of those things. So students will still get that hands-on experience working with their NPO, whereas previously they used to meet face-to-face. Now they're going to be doing that via a live meeting. So so there are a lot of interesting ways that we can still make that a real connection, because that was one of my concerns when trying to make this an online course, and I think it's going to work out just fine. As far as how students are going to be engaged in the course, VoiceThread is going to be the main form of communication and engagement with, as far as students go, with each other and with me. But I've also used a number of different platforms like YouTube videos, TED Talk, there's a TED Talk, and then also Microsoft Word documents and PowerPoints with VoiceThread over it. So there's going to be a lot of, I think, accessible, user-friendly options for students. So they're not just going to be doing VoiceThread strictly throughout the session. As far as what I did to promote interaction, within the course, interaction from student to student, I mean, the first assignment that they have to do will be an icebreaker, so I've got that right away, and they can get familiar with VoiceThread. Several of the other VoiceThread assignments will be designed that students will interact after leaving comments. They will respond to each other on VoiceThread. As far as students interacting with me, I will have 1 live meeting that they are required to participate in throughout the semester. They will one is a group where they'll have to interact with each other, and then 1 with me at the end of this session when they have to do their final proposal. And then the way that the students are going to be interacting with the content, all of the assignments are going to be designed that the students will have to interact with the content because they have to provide that back to me, and then also provide it to their client, their NPO that they're going to be partnered with. So everything that they're going to be doing is going to be built, assignments will be built one on top of each other. They'll stack so that they will submit those to me, and then also have to make changes and edits and then submit those to their client. So they're going to get sort of a double whammy as far as what they need to do in order to complete the coursework. Let's see. What else did I have here? What did I like most about the course design, just in terms of going through the questions that we were suggested that we answer? I like basically how my weekly content is set up. And I know everyone has been thanking their designers, and I have to do the same, because this really is something that I didn't see until I started working with, after sitting in on the week-long session here, but then also working with Yuhan and Lara. So I like the way that my weekly content is set up. And each week, like here's just an example, each week is going to follow the same format. And the first thing I have is things to do. So the students know this is the first thing they need to look at. What are we doing in week 1? And so they know what assignments are due and that they need to work on, and then what is optional for them as far as external resources and links. So I've included the optional links in that weekly folder as well. So there's assignments are built in, they can do them right in that week's folder. And then they also have the optional links and resources that they can look at and research or watch as far as YouTube videos. So I really like just the layout. I think it's going to be really user friendly as far as the weekly content goes. What did I change or do differently that I didn't do before? I mean, basically everything. My previous online classes were just not strictly correspondence, but I was using a lot of discussion boards, and so the amount of reading and grading that I had to do in order to keep up with those was immense. So the VoiceThread is going to be the biggest change, I think, and help that I have in changing a lot of things in these online courses. So I think, you know, basically everything's going to be different. And so I'm really pleased about that, because that's exactly what I hope to get out of doing this.
Very big change you have made for the class and before.
Is there a very big?
Choose one of the big ones that you feel that's the most different than what you used to do.
Well, I haven't taught this class online before, but I mean, just in general, my online teaching, like for humanities or English 101, I didn't use any of these types of, even having assignments built into the content. Everything was basically discussion board or links that I would email to them or post an announcement. So I feel like I've gone from like 1.0 to, you know, tech 10.0 in comparison. So, but a lot of these things too can translate, I think, also to when I teach this class in person. So, and I plan to incorporate this as well into the face-to-face class. So, yeah, and I'm excited about that. What did I learn from this experience which can be implemented into other classes? For me, it's how to view the class holistically, and mostly, you know, as an instructor, but then also as a student. Because what I find is that things were making sense in my head, but they probably weren't making sense to the students. So really being able to look at things and have that translation and come out the other side and have a student be able to see how those things connect. And so I think it's that idea of making the invisible visible, right? Because I could see how things would build and work together, but I don't think students could see that in my prior online classes. So being able to see things as a student, and then organization, that was what I learned there. I mean, I had learned how to improve organization was probably one of the most important things as well. What are some important things faculty need to keep in mind when developing an online course? I think how to look at things as students, because I think we can tend to forget that. And then how would I define my success as an online instructor? Well, I think it's only going to get better. But I think being able to design a course that allows students to feel independent, but that also that they are receiving the same instruction online that they would in a face-to-face class, and having that sense of community. And so I think that this will help with communicating expectations, and being more transparent, and probably also being more accessible, just because of the face-to-face videos. Well, that's something, if I had to say, one of the biggest things would be sort of following Xavier Harrington's model of doing a little weekly, check-in with everybody and saying, these are the things that you need to do. So even that, I think, will help to make me as an instructor be more accessible to my students. So. Any questions? Yes.
How did you get, I think it was on your first screen, like there was a little VoiceThread logo on one of your, like maybe scroll down a little bit. Like that cute little Q&A thing over there.
Talk to you, Han.
You've been holding out on me.
Do you have to create a table to insert that image at the right place, or just a place you can?
I just insert the image that I created.
But how can the text perfectly wrap around?
Oh, just choose the alignment. You just align the image to the left, so that in all the text will.
So if we have 10 minutes sometime, maybe after presentation, you can show us how to do that.
Sure.
And you certainly, we will send you the pictures. I really like the way you make your classroom look really user friendly. It's not. It doesn't look like so crowded. Like some of the online courses, you feel there's so much stuff in there. But it seems like you have a really good organization. I do agree that you have done a great job organizing.
Thank you. I, again, have to thank my designers for helping me, because I think really paring down and moving things over here in this section, this is a really simple section. And so I think paring that down and organizing things in, into moving stuff into the weekly content and organizing it that way instead of having excess links over here that I don't know that students would probably actually use. I think that helped a lot as far as just streamlining the sidebar. So yeah, I'm very pleased.
Oh, one more question, sorry. Yep. Are you going to use VoiceThread to record your weekly video, your weekly
Yes.
grading things? And were you happy with that? Because I've tried VoiceThread, I've tried YouTube, I've tried holding my cell phone out and doing my selfie videos. But are you happy?
I've been very happy with it. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm not happy with Laura and Yuhan told me I have to get used to is your face being caught like deer in headlights surprise. I tried this so many times. I probably recorded this because I was trying to get it perfect, so I was sitting there like before, and every single one of them, my mouth is like, you know, and so, but that was my only issue with it. But if it's never going to be perfect, then this is good enough for me. After a certain point.
You will always capture the one when you have a mouse over.
And that was the, you know, sometimes it's the best one that you do, and then it's just like, oh no. But I was happy with VoiceThread. I thought I felt comfortable using it, and it was easy to use, and so.
Actually, that's a new change for the new VoiceThread that
That's true. You can
hear about, but you can have a little thumbnail video, or I mean picture as the video picture.
So you can.
So if you no longer have your face up there, you can have whatever you want, like chapter 1, 2, and then go into it.
Oh, good. That's perfect. See, problem solved.